crazy week in boxing last week, and we summing it up right here, heavy on the boxing. And we're back, heavy on the boxing, with a weekly recap of what was going on last week in the boxing world. First up, man, we had the controversy that came with the Lomachenko and Haney fight, the bogus scorecard that had Haney winning the 10th round. It came into question and kind of pissed everybody off and made a whole media frenzy about that fight. It kind of took away from the actual bout. It was a great fight. Very close. Some people scored it for Haney, some people scored it for Lomachenko, but the scorecards kind of ruined that a little bit. But it is what it is. Haney retained his titles, and they moved on. What happens when they move on? The next day, WBC, they put Lomachenko as number one. Again, Lomachenko is ranked number one in the WBC. And that's kind of crazy because Shakur Stevenson was number one before the fight. Shakur Stevenson pretty much thought that he was going to have a winner of this fight. But depending on what Devin Haney decides to do in terms of moving up or staying where he's at in the weight class, Lomachenko could possibly be facing Shakur Stevenson for the undisputed title. And right when we thought that everything was going to cool off and smooth over, or continue to talk about Haney and Loma, bam, Spence Crawford announced the fight we all been waiting for. You feel me? That was like a freaking gift from the boxing guys. Like, yo, like I was at the point that I ain't even care no more, to be honest with you, bro. Like, I got tired of talking about it. You feel me? That one conversation, like, just put a black cloud over boxing in my eyes. Like, yeah, we was getting some good fights, but without that Spence and Crawford fight, man, it's not really anything to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Not this year, but they made the fight. It's gonna be one of the biggest fights, in the last decade, probably since Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. But this one's a little more ripe. It's a little more prime. We'd love to see this 2-3 years ago, but I guess they had to make sure the business was right. But we're getting that fight July 29th in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, and that should be an absolute banger. You feel me? Then right after the Spence and Crawford announcement, Devin Haney sends out a tweet. He directs it at Regis Prograis, saying that he's already contacted Eddie Hearns about initiating a fight with him. Now that's big. That kind of insinuating that Devin Haney's going to be relinquishing his titles at 135 and moving up to junior welterweight to fight WBC champion Regis Rougarou Prograis. Right? I know we wanted to see the bouts at 135, man, but we got to take our hat off for Devin to jumping in the ring with Regis Prograis, or at least attempting to get in the ring with Regis Prograis right off of that Lomachenko fight. He's like, yo, ain't no tune-ups, and that's what I want to see, man. That's what I want to see. If he's more comfortable at that weight class, there are great fights to be made at 140. You got Regis Prograis, you got Teofimo Lopez, you got Josh Taylor. You got some good names up there that he can continue to chase greatness at, man. And if he can be undisputed and he can get that shot, we'll have a Devin Haney who's been undisputed in 2 weight classes, which would just be remarkable. So as Haney plots his next move, guess who jumps into the mix? Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia does the same thing. He tweets out some cryptic stuff, but basically says, yo, I'm fighting Rolly Romero in my next fight. This is the biggest fight in boxing.
The biggest fight in boxing?
Hey, man, maybe social media wise, man, maybe that'll be a big fight in their eyes. But in reality, it's a clash of the 2 latest Gervonta Davis victims. You feel what I'm saying? And hey, it'll be an interesting fight. But will I be paying pay-per-view? Will they be putting it on pay-per-view? If they are, hey, ain't no price tag on it unless that's coming with a regular Showtime subscription, man. I'm kind of cool on that fight. But hey, let their fans decide if they want to take that to Vegas and make a big spectacle out of it, hey, go right ahead. Now we're cruising into the weekend. The press runs have started for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence's fight, right? So Terrence Crawford ends up on $1 million worth of game with Gilly the Kid and Wallow. And the question comes up about Jermall Charlo and where their relationship went sour at. And Terrence Crawford was basically saying that as he moved up in those weight classes, Jermall Charlo started to get a little more defensive and a little more vocal about Terrence Crawford calling out and going after Errol Spence. He's like, hey, he's been doing a lot of extra talking, a lot of extra barking, and it really doesn't have anything to do with him. But if he want to make it about him, he can get the smoke too. So, hey, Terrence Crawford, if he gets through Errol Spence, it sounds like he's going to be coming at that undisputed title at 154. He's going to be trying to take that from Jermall Charlo, which will be another huge fight for boxing. You feel what I'm saying? I like those two dudes. They two of my favorite boxers. And that fight would just be fireworks, man. You know what I'm saying? And as the weekend continued to round up, this Memorial Day weekend, rumors have been floating around about a possible Canelo and David Benavidez fight. I've been hearing that contracts have been getting sent and they might be eyeing that date in September, whether it's I believe it's Mexican Independence Day, the day that Canelo likes to fight on. They might be fighting on that specific date. David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez in September for Canelo's belts. That would be crazy. Another massive fight for boxing, man. And then those are the type of fights that make me feel just good on the inside, man. The ones you can get the butterflies about, before the fight starts, man. But yeah, that'd be great, man. That's been a fight I've been asking for a long time. A lot of people been thinking Canelo's been ducking David Benavidez, but if he makes that fight, hat off to you, champ. Then to bring the week to a conclusion, we had Caleb Plant put out a vague tweet basically saying he's the king of big fights. He's come off the fight with Canelo, with David Benavidez, Andre Dirrell, which he won in knockout fashion. But he's saying he has another big fight on the horizon. I wonder who that could be. Could that be Andrade? Could that be Jermall Charlo? Who could it be? Who could be that big fight for Caleb Plant so he can get back into that mix? But we gonna see how that unfolds, man. I like Caleb Plant as a boxer. I want him to get him a victory against one of his elite level peers. I don't know how possible that is at this point. But he's definitely game. So overall, it was an epic week for boxing, man. A lot of entertaining stuff going on. A lot of good announcements, man. We got some fights on the horizon. But that's all I have for you today. This is your boy Heavy. Please comment. Please like. Please dislike. Please subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you think I'm tripping. If you got any info, if my info was wrong, hey, feel free to throw it all in there, man. We'll make it all work, man. But hey, until next time, Heavy on the boxing, we gone, man. Stay positive.